Sorry. Listen, guys, I don't know how you feel. I know there's a lot of mixed emotions, not just amongst us, but around this country today, obviously throughout the globe. A lot of people are feeling, like that dark cloud is still over America. We have so much to do. But here's what I want to encourage you. Clearly, there is an overabundance of wickedness in this world. Clearly, there's an overabundance of wickedness in our country, in our cities, and even in some of our families. And no longer can any of us afford to sit idly by. I've heard some great things today, and some of you, I think it was Andrea, said she was already doing some things, and some other people. Thank you for doing whatever you can in your space that God has given you. But here's what I'm saying: the reason I partnered up with my brother AJ, and the reason I'm working with Nat and Barbara and Danny and the whole team, Sue and everybody, is because they are movers, they're change agents, they have gone into action. What I have found is a lot of people think the right things. They would love to do the right things, but that's all they're doing. They're thinking about it. They're sitting around not doing anything. And what we're saying, what our fearless leader AJ is saying, it's time for action. We have got to counter the wickedness and the bad stuff that's happening in this world. Because if we can inject enough love, we can start pushing this bad stuff. I like to call it the darkness, pushing the darkness back as we see the light. So we got to remember this acronym. You got to get it in you. You got to get it in you, and you got to move to action steps. Love, love, love. We have got to learn. We've heard a group talk about it today. We've got to take the time out. And I wish our little junior Martin Luther King was on here, Trey, because he always talks about how the reason that people hate one another is because they don't know each other. And the reason they don't know each other is because they don't communicate with each other. And that's the only way you're going to really build relationships with one another. Dr. Martin Luther King said that best. And the challenge is we're not doing that. And when I say we, I'm not pointing the fingers at any one of you. I'm talking about us as a society as a whole. And that's why we have what we have, right? So a lot of us are doing the right things, but we've got to be a force multiplier. We've got to help other people understand this language, this love language. We've got to learn of one another. We've got to learn to listen. One of the things that made me, I believe, so successful in law enforcement was because I didn't mind learning of people that I didn't know about. I didn't look down on people, nor did I think anybody was above me. And I listened. I listened to people and learn of them and appreciate where they were and try to figure out through the second letter O, open heart. Through an open heart, listen, you're not going to get anywhere with a stony heart. You're not going to get anywhere thinking that we got all the answers. I got all the answers. My way is the right way. And if you don't want to accept that, go do something else. No, it can't be that. You got to have an open heart, full of compassion to want to help other people. There are some people that need your help, need my help. I just came from a football camp, a couple of retired NFL players, but they went into a impoverished community, public housing, where kids was pouring out of the woodwork because nobody's there showing the interest in them. Nobody's there pouring love into them. And so we decided, let's go in here and just off the cuff, let's have a football camp right in their own backyard. And you know what? We ain't charging nobody nothing. Because we had learned to listen to that community, learn of that community, understood what they didn't have, and more importantly, with an open heart, what they needed. And you know what? We can provide the need. And so they have police, they have an NFL player there, and then they had to keep pointing me out. There's chief and there's chief, because these kids only see police one way, coming through, knocking people upside the head, pulling their pants down, raiding their homes. And so when I come in, I'm talking to them, it's a whole different ball game. Are you sure you was a police? You really was a police? Because we never see no police like that. It's all about an open heart. And then volunteering your time. I had to drive 80 minutes away. To some of you, that's not far. But when I got a beautiful wife at home and other beautiful kids, I put my 15-year-old in the car who plays football and said, we're going to drive 80 miles away or 80 minutes away, and we're going to love on some people. I know you really don't need this camp. I know you're a superstar and all that, but we're going to love on some people because some people need some love. And we went down there and we had a ball. and we provided all the food for them at the end. And then we spoke to them at the end. We loved on them, and we weren't afraid to talk about love. AJ, you would have been so proud. You would have been proud of Ray Sidlor. AJ, you would have been proud of Coach Kenneth Gray. You would have been proud how they poured into these kids, volunteering their time and their money to love on these kids so they would have some hope, that they didn't have to be another Tamir Rice, that they could live and not die. We've got to learn to love on people, and sometimes we just got to volunteer our time. And finally, we've got to learn to empower other folk. Everybody on here clearly has power to do things, but we can't hoard that. We got to teach other people how to be empowered so they can go empower themselves. It might be just teaching a big brother how to be powerful and understanding his position in life so he can then be the role model for his little brother because his daddy's out the picture. There's so much work to be done. So much work to be done. And if we're going to leave a better world for our children, it's not going to happen by itself. And I get it. A lot of us read the book. I'm a preacher myself. That times are growing worse and worse, but that doesn't mean we throw in the towel. I believe that's because more people are throwing in the towel. But if enough of us will pick up the towel, pick up the mantle and say, you know what? We're going to love on some folk. We're going to teach this thing. We're going to love on some people in my family, in my neighborhood, in my church, on my job, when I walk down the street, when I go to the hospital. I'm going to learn to love on everybody because love is contagious. We got to do that. I am so grateful for this Love is the Answer leadership team. I am so grateful for everybody that comes alongside and says, you know what, we want to be a part of that. Juan, hey, AJ, don't let Juan get away. Because Juan said, I've been trying to connect with AJ for the last couple of years. I need to be a part of this. Hey, Juan, hey. I'm co-signing for you right now. Hey, AJ, make sure Juan signs up to play some type of role because he said, bro, I need to be a part of this. We need more people to ride this love train. Because this has to be the message. This has to be the language in every city. And I dare not say, because the way our country is built, this great melting pot. And unfortunately, we've got the whites looking out for themselves, the blacks feeling hopeless and looking out for themselves, and the Italians and the Greeks and the Asians, the greatest melting pot in America, and we're divided. The only thing that's going to break down those walls of division is love. Treat everybody like you want to be treated. Help your brother when you know you can help them. Extend that olive branch. I'm all about this. I told AJ I'm sold out. Just like Nat, Barbara, Danny, Susan, Trey, the rest of us, we're sold out for this. Listen, I believe in love. My mama taught me how to love. So when AJ came along with this was a natural fit. You ever get passionate about something and want to do something because it really didn't take any effort? It was part of your DNA. If it's not part of your DNA, then listen. Let us help love become part of your DNA. If you had a lot of abuse in your past, or whatever the case may be, and you mad at the world, I got that. But we got a cure. It's called love, because love is the answer. We love y'all, and thank you for spending time with us. We're going to keep this, we're going to keep this thing rolling. I'm excited about this. I got more people I'm bringing on board, AJ, you don't even know about yet. I'm just fired up. So I love you guys to life. I love you to life. I thank you for my group and all the input you had. Every last one of you, Randy, Juan, I'm going to forget somebody, Debbie, and I'm forgetting somebody. T, I did it. Woo, I did it. All right, I'm done. I'm done, AJ. Back to you, baby.
Man, okay. All right. Mel, thank you, brother. I'm ready. I'm ready to run out the tunnel and take the field again. I was feeling beat up. Why don't y'all unmute yourselves? We're going to wrap it up in a minute here. Wow. Wow.
Thank you, Reverend Mel.
Hallelujah.